Behind me you can see the Olifants River. We're in the Limpopo province near the Kruger National Park. It's 32 degrees, so pretty steamy. Welcome to Our Mind. My name is Dr Kassi Klein, and today I'd like to talk about our universal body image. And I say universal because I think body image issues are a shared universal truth, at least for most of us. Because in a way, I feel that in this modern era, our perceptual physical image has somehow become so much more important in how we value ourselves in society. So many of us struggle with this modern ideal of what we should look like. And this isn't just females, as is more commonly known. Increasingly now, males are also striving for an ideal body. And we all sit somewhere along this, what I like to call body satisfaction spectrum, where some people think of how their body looks to others and how they should manipulate it only occasionally, and others think about it on a daily basis or even an hourly basis. And then on the more extreme end of the spectrum of obsessive orthorexia and severe eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa, we are holding up this modern ideal and holding ourselves and our bodies to new standards with a stronger will than ever before. What surprises me is that as a doctor working in mental health, I've worked with people with diagnosed eating disorders, and what separates someone like that from someone like myself or anybody in our community is really not all that much. The misperception of body image and the level to which we drive towards that ideal in somebody with an eating disorder is affecting their functioning and their health. And it is, of course, a more complex issue not to be undermined. But the basis is the same in all of us. A distorted and extreme view of how our bodies should fit into some prefixed ideal in order for us to fit in. That somehow, on some deeper level, we are made to feel inadequate, not good enough, be it not thin enough, not lean enough, not curvy enough even, or not muscular enough, depending on whatever is trending at the time. This is also dependent on the culture or the environment that we surround ourselves in. So I wanted to do a little dive into the psychology of this and why we can perceive our ideal body image as a moving target. Well, it's all to do with how our minds perceive the world. We're naturally designed to compare ourselves to the people around us, a role of the part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex. Evolutionarily, and even generally now, it's a useful tool to let us know what the tribe around us is up to, how you fit in society, and to provide you some guidance in succeeding in some social role. But what has changed now to say maybe 20 to 30 years ago, there's been a real shift in our culture to become very media driven and image obsessed. And we're just sort of overwhelmed and flooded with these photoshopped images. They're everywhere and mostly aren't a true representation of reality, of natural, real humans with our flaws and delightful quirks that make us all so different. Social media is a big culprit here. Initially, it was advertising companies for commodities, but now it's all the people around us, people who are meant to represent our communities, our tribe, are perfecting and manipulating their Instagram shots. And I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. We're all prone to doing this in some way. It's more that it's just become a societal and cultural norm, an expectation. As a consequence, our mind is selectively finding social comparisons that we perceive to be better than us. We're always picking and choosing someone with a better figure, leaner body, better tan, etc. in every moment. We're just constantly comparing upwards. In fact, we rarely compare downwards or even at the same level. It's just how our minds are wired. Okay, well, you might say that's fine, but I don't hang around with slim, say, runway models on a daily basis, so it doesn't affect me. But now there's an overwhelm of social media, right? On Instagram and social media, from the moment we wake up to when we go to bed at night, we're on the scroll. Our brain is now open to constantly finding a new target to compare yourself to. And with the focus on social media being photoshopped perfection and the rise of profiting weight loss, exercise and nutrition industries, it's a difficult war to be fighting against, and we're fighting it alone, on our phones, in our minds, stuck with our own negative thoughts of self-perception. For both males and females, our society has somehow defined fame, success and beauty with a certain physical look. And now we are reminded on a daily basis that we can't strive for these unrealistic ideals without making a mental, physical or emotional sacrifice. In fact, it's kind of like money. You can never have enough of it. At what ballpark are you going to say, right now I have enough money, I can just sit back and chill? You don't. The more you earn, the more you want to get. And this is the same with your body. You might say, well, when I lose 5 kilograms, then I'll be happy. But then you get there and you're like, well, I could lean up a bit here and there, etc. Maybe I'll lose another 5 and then I'll be happy. Or when I eat perfectly for 12 weeks, then I'll be sorted. You can't reach this imaginary platform. In fact, the harder you try to restrict and control your body and weight, the more stressed out we become and the more negative thoughts we have. So you're even more likely to be critical of yourself and just be overwhelmed with feelings of fear that you'll put the weight back on and feeling guilty when you stray from your ideal diet. The truth is, your brain will always find another to compare with, and your ideal body image is a constant moving target. Mostly we can't change how we are culturally evolving as a society, but we can change how we monitor what we as individuals do and how we think. So I've got 4 tips that helped me tackle this thing. Firstly, social media literacy. It's about being mindful about what we're picking up on social media, what we're looking at, what we put meaning to, and how it makes us feel. Help us have a more critical eye to see what is filtered and not always representing real life. And be more mindful of the amount of time we spend just scrolling, particularly at crucial times of the day, like first thing in the morning, where our actions set the emotional intention for the rest of the day, as well as times of stress, so where we're more prone to be self-critical towards ourselves. In fact, it's often when we're stressed that we'll reach for social media as a reprieve, being mindful that perhaps this isn't the best idea for our self-esteem. Secondly, keep a watch on your mirror time. How often we're checking the mirror, checking our physique, and making a little assessment and judgment about ourselves with whatever internal thoughts or feelings that follow. Often it's so automatic and unconscious, we don't even realize it. I always like to avoid mirrors in the bedroom if I can, because then it's always checking first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and I don't want that to be a priority that dictates every day. But even just being mindful and noticing these little judgments we send ourselves and how often we do this in the day. Thirdly, sometimes it's just about reminding yourself that the people in your life like you despite how you might think about your body, and probably won't love you more or less if you changed it. Focusing your energy and, importantly, your thoughts on other strengths and qualities to strive towards, perhaps to be a more kind, mindful or grateful person, finding intellectual interests, hobbies or creative pursuits, bringing enthusiasm to your work, spending time with friends, and anything which helps you feel connected to your tribe or community. This idea that we should be somehow fixing our bodies to fit in demands that we separate ourselves until we do, and will struggle to find connection to our tribe or our friends and even our families if we uphold the sense of duality from within. So forgive yourself, let yourself be imperfect, and simply embrace your uniqueness, just as you are. This can be really powerful. And lastly, choosing health over physical appearance. Seems obvious, right? But that's not just physical health, it's emotional and mental health as well. So any kind of movement that makes you feel good without the sole purpose of burning calories or changing your physique. It could be yoga, dance, cycling, surfing, a team sports, or anything that makes you feel alive. But overall, it's about not getting our knickers in a twist, about reaching some kind of one-size-fits-all body, and that we hold our happiness hostage until we perfectly attain that ideal. Now, in a future lecture, I will be delving more into how we can tackle body image issues head-on, but for now, I just had to have a little passionate dive into challenging our perceptions about our body image. I have to apologize about the wind. It's been pretty windy today and we've had a bit of problems with the audio, but I still wanted to show you this incredible place. Please let me know in the comments below what you think and what strategies you use to manage your self-image, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so we keep bringing the good stuff right to your doorstep. That's it for now, folks. Until next time, I wish you health in mind and in body.